A little bit of history about Sac, man. You feel me? We at Sutters Fort right now. They built this fort, you know, really to establish their position once this was Mexico and the Indians were the indigenous people. You feel me? So, even though this is what established Sacramento, because it made the Europeans, the white folks, feel comfortable to be safe, and, you know, they offered them free land. That's what they did. They offered your white mamas and daddies free land. No, I mean your daddies. You know, white women didn't get their rights until they freed the slaves. That's a whole nother subject. Yeah. They used this to kill off the Indians and establish a power in the area. Then they told a bunch of white settlers to come because the land was free. And we had jobs. And it was killing the people of these real lands. It's crazy. To be continued.
This building right here is the only original. It's 76 original to the 1840s. Whereas the rest of the fort was rebuilt in the 1890s.
Oh, so they just like built them here like to establish they place in amongst the native people?
Yeah, and against the Mexican government as well. So John Sutter was the guy who founded this, and he had to become a Mexican citizen in order to obtain a land grant that was around the Sacramento Valley. And so basically, after they had discovered that gold was in California, they came here, verified that it was real in that building actually, and then he left the state because he was in massive debt. And so this was really only like a trading post or an agricultural center for about 6 to 10 years.
To set up the gold rush that was to come after everybody found out it was gold out here.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So they never did battle here. They was just like where they kept all their armaments and stuff to fight against anybody that would stop their place here.
Yeah. And then eventually it became California and part of the United States. But at that point, this area was already more established.
Right.
Yeah. So this was like one of the first actual European establishments.
Oh, okay. Cool. Thank you. Sorry. Like my mama said, man, sometimes you just gotta play dumb. Well, basically, they would set these forts up in places where they wanted to get rid of the Indians. So basically what this fort was built for was to establish their power amongst the natives.
Any sort of rebellion in any community, he dealt with them in the most ruthless ways imaginable. He would march at night, he would surround an Indian community, sometimes he took cannons, and he would simply attack without warning. He'd kill however many Indians he thought was necessary until they surrendered.
If he encountered a village that wasn't willing to work with him, he would burn down their roundhouse. And for our tribal communities, that roundhouse that's the center of our community, it's the center of our power. That's where practice religion, practice community, practice ceremony. And for him to come in and say, you're gonna come work for me on to burn your roundhouse down, that's an act of, cultural terrorism.
You can imagine how you would feel being awakened at dawn with someone shelling your house.
Fucking loser.
Sutter introduced himself to some of the people of the Sacramento Valley. Some others quickly established peaceful relations with him and didn't get that kind of treatment. But everyone, every Indian in the valley understood if they didn't cooperate with Sutter, they were subject to this kind of treatment.
Indigenous people have always been just viewed as something to be consumed and then done away with.
It's crazy. You would come with nothing, your poor family starving, and look amongst these walls and feel safe and be like, all I gotta do is walk, cut down some trees, and the land is mine for me and my kids to think we did something. And that's the story of America. And if you don't believe me, look in their pockets. They broke. They still holding on to what they folks stole. That's what they came for right there. Before they knew it was gold, they said, well, we could kill a bunch of animals. Until they're all gone. And then we can make people pay us even more to save the ones that's left. Sometimes you gotta look at yourself and ask yourself why you ain't got shit. John Ford said in his own words, John Sutter said in his own words, I wouldn't be able to build this, even though it's a piece of shit, without making the Indians. He enslaved Indians. If you don't think the Indians were enslaved, they were too. And this is what it was built for. Somebody come on your land and tell you, hey man, I'm gonna just build this over here, man, you know what I'm saying, for some cattle and some stuff, and build it to turn you into the cattle. And herd you. They said you don't speak my language even though they didn't speak yours. Just to act like they ain't heard you. That's the story. Being nice for what? Every time one of the motherfuckers jump in my face, I'll be like, motherfucker, what do you want? You don't fuck with me. You don't fuck with us. You want to take my culture for yourself and then have the nerve to establish a system to protect me from it. My own shit. Okay, Cole, you already know. Hope y'all tuning in. Adventure Mode with Cole. We got a history lesson for y'all. And it's called How to Take Over a World That Ain't Yours. First thing you gotta do is know how to smile and act harmless. This whole city was built around this establishment. That's what they used to keep the Indians out. Kept this place home for thousands of years. They built this as a place to control the indigenous people. And being nice is what let them do it. Y'all say y'all want to start from scratch. Y'all scared? Huh? Y'all scared to go get some acres and have to build up from nothing, huh? That's what they did. They the savages now, though. We're the ones encroaching on their land like they once did our ancestors. And you would have to get land and build something like this to keep them out and do what you need to do to build yourself up and make your people want to populate the area around until this becomes a metropolis. And your ancestors run it. Yeah, we might have to go back to eating at tables like this. Can you handle that? Real trappers. They ain't gonna give us what we deserve. We're gonna have to take it. Sutters Ford. Man that built this city was a practical loser. He came with a few cannons and a few guns and a few families. Asked permission to build these walls and then kept the suckers out. I ain't gonna call them suckers because, you feel me, it really wasn't. They was just the opposition. They was just the people that had all of this beautiful world to themselves. And the people that came from nothing, and when I say nothing, I say poor, I mean, you know, literally poor, like having nothing in their pockets, but culturally poor too. No natural resources to depend on in their country. Living on top of each other like rats. Spreading disease, man, you feel me? Lower door. You bitch ass niggas. Alright, my bad. Free land? Whose land? Oh my God. Why did the immigrants come to the fort? The first inland immigrants from the U.S. arrived in California in 1841. Bitch, y'all ain't been here that long telling somebody to go back to their country. More and more came every year. Sutter encouraged settlers to come to the New Helvetia by a promise of them a place to stay, jobs, and free land. Of course, safety, because they was bitches. Broke nigga, man. Nigga didn't even have a bag, man. That's crazy. You securing other people's land for other broke people. Oh, this is deep. That's why you can't sit there and read no books. It ain't gonna tell you the truth. It's gonna tell you what the person who wrote it wants you to know. You gotta get out and look at it piece by piece and what it meant and how it got there. You walk right in, the first thing the lady tell you is he was a broke motherfucker who had to leave the state of California before it even got going because he was poor. It owed everybody. Bum. And look, you get to make your name somebody else. And they'll try to say you the outcast of civilization. He went digging in